Pregnant spouse 35F is cheating on me 35 meters. I don't know what to do. Hey Reddit. First things first, a disclaimer. Sorry, long text incoming. TL, doctor at the end. I'm in a complicated situation and looking for advice, as probably everyone is who's posting here. This account is a throwaway account. English is not my first language, so be kind with wrong grammar, etc. I married my wife around 5 years ago. Before that, we were a couple for another 2 years. We bought a house together, have both well-paying jobs. All was perfect. Besides that, we had some trouble getting a child we both wished for. We got tested and it turned out that my wife had a condition which made it extremely unlikely to get pregnant. This obviously was a huge downer for us, but together we made it through that valley of tears with me heavily supporting her. It tied us together. We focused on getting an adoption, which is not too easy in the country we live in. It's a very complex and exhausting process we tried to power through for about 2 years, slightly losing confidence over time. But then, it came totally different. Right before we settled on dropping out of the adoption lottery and moving on with our lives as dinks double income, no kids, my wife got pregnant in October last year. We both were very happy and began buying all the stuff you need for the baby and started planning the next steps. Around Christmas, my wife, then being in the 2nd month of pregnancy, decided to go on a 2-week vacation to the US. However, she planned to go there alone. She said that she just wants to visit an old friend and his wife, but also prove to herself that she is able to survive on a vacation she's taking all by herself. I know the bespoke friend and his wife and also supported her endeavor, knowing that everything will be different as soon as the baby is born. So this was totally fine with me. I even helped her planning and booking the trip, supported her financially, etc. This is where it began to go downward. 1 or 2 weeks right before the trip in February, she began to act strangely. At least that's when I began to notice. Her phone was always in her hand. She made absolutely sure that no one was ever touching it. She turned off all alerts, sounds and vibration on the phone after I noticed that she is constantly getting emails and texts, which wasn't the case in the past, at least not in this extent, and asked her about it. She reacted defensive and tried to talk it down. I accepted it. As the day came she was leaving, everything felt normal again. I drove her to the airport. We kissed and said our goodbyes, farewells, I already miss yous. We agreed that she will stay in contact with me and take care of herself and the baby belly. During her stay, we Skyped often, texted, etc. She constantly told me that she misses me and looked forward to returning. Days went by and after 2 weeks I picked her up at the airport. We hugged, kissed, and I was glad to see her again. However, I noticed something was off. I couldn't tell what it was, but she behaved differently. The following weeks she became more and more distant. We got into fights about minor things on the level of this cup isn't placed properly on the cupboard and similar trivialities. However, we proceeded to build the baby room, painted the walls, etc. I again noticed that she still never took her eyes off her phone. Since I slowly began to become suspicious, the unexpected vacation, the phone thing, her changed reactions, I tried to sneak looks at her phone content. There were some opportunities where I could look at her messages. This is where my heart broke. I learned that she is constantly texting, timiding and emailing another man for 4 months now. On a daily basis, they send each other nudes, pledge their love and loyalty, and even make plans to meet again and spend their future together. I also got to know that they had time. I was devastated. She, however, acted as nothing was wrong, yet became a bit more distant. Kisses got slightly sloppier, the time got less. She avoids hugging me, etc. My brain started to go to some sort of autopilot. I try to be the best husband on earth, taking even more care of the house, nursed her when she got a heavy cold, date nights which feel perfectly normal and nice, and so on. Behind the scenes I try to push the thoughts I have away. What is she up to? Will she leave me? What will happen to our baby? Is it my baby? I hope that everything will become alright over time because of the physical distance between them. That she will come to her senses again. To think about what she is doing here, how she destroys not only her life maybe, but also my life absolutely, and possibly our unborn kid's life. 1 month now has passed and it doesn't seem like that she will stop with it. This is where we are now. My problem now is, I think, she believes that I don't know what is going on. I feel bad that I snooped around, since before all that my wife was the person I trusted completely. We both had previous relationships in which we both got cheated on, so we made some sort of pact never do that to each other. I still love her but have doubts that she still loves me. I'm afraid to tell her because I'm afraid of her reaction and the outcome, but also I have no idea what to say to her. If I tell her, she might leave me. On the other hand, this could lead to her telling me what I did wrong, what caused her to cheat on me. She might run away with the child, however she also might stay and carry on with texting, meeting this guy and having me as her financier. TL, doctor, when Op's wife finally got pregnant she decided to cheat on him. He now has no idea what to do. My questions are, what would you do? Would you tell her? How would you tell her? Should I proceed ignoring this situation hoping it will go away when the baby is born? Am I a moron for still loving her? Thanks for reading. Writing this also was some sort of venting for me since I have no one else to tell. Update 1. Sorry for the wall of text, I'm too dumb to insert blank lines. Update 2. Following up on some of the posts and PMs I've received, but first, thank you all for your warm but also honest words. I cannot be absolutely sure if the kid is mine. She got pregnant in October and the first messages I found were from December, but I have no idea where and when they met the first time. I'll definitely go see a lawyer, simply to know my options. Abortion at this stage of pregnancy is illegal where I live. Update 3. My plan right now is to gather more evidence. It hurts so much to see all that crap on her phone and look for a lawyer to learn what I can and should do next. Then I will confront her. I plan to be there for the kid but will insist on a paternity test after birth. Just to make sure. Oh, and since a lot of people asked, I live in Germany. The guy she fed lives in the US, is a former soldier, now teacher. I've got his name, address, phone numbers, email. I know where he works. I know the name of his son. I thought about contacting him, confronting him. But I think I'll wait to do this. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, okay, let me be the first to tell you something you probably already know but don't want to admit to yourself. Your marriage is most likely over. People who are married work as a team, they help each other and work together to keep the marriage going. Your wife is not on your team, she is on the opposing team. She is lying to you, to your face, hiding things from you, and cheating on you. These are not things that someone who is your partner does. Therefore, she is not your partner, by action if not by title. Therefore, preventing her from leaving should not be a priority, because she has already left. She has left by vacating her promise to love, honor and cherish and always be truth to you. She might still be there physically, but mentally she has left and eventually she will follow physically. On the other hand, this could lead to her telling me what I did wrong, what caused her to cheat on me. Whatever you did wrong, if anything, did not cause her to cheat. She cheated because she decided to lie to your face. If she had a problem with the marriage or with you, she should have told you so that you and her could fix it together. If she was not happy in the marriage, she should have asked for a divorce. Both these options are available to her at any time, but she did not do these things. She instead chose to lie to you and cheat on you. That is something she decided to do, not something you forced her into. So do not blame yourself or assume it is your fault. We both had previous relationships in which we both got cheated on, so we made some sort of pact never do that to each other. That is what matters. You had a pact to be truthful with each other. She broke that pact. She broke your trust, and broke the marriage. Whatever happens is 100% her fault, not yours. Your priority should be to not be the bankroll for her to live comfortably and duck another guy. Focus on getting custody if you want, but not bankrolling a cheater should be your priority. Now I don't know how things work in your country, but if you were in the US I would tell you to contact a lawyer ASAP. Lawyer can tell you exactly what your situation is and what your options are. What if anything you can do to copy evidence off her phone, and how important cheating is or isn't in divorce courts. Here in the US, in some states cheating is grounds for a divorce, In other states it's not, and the cheating partner can still collect money from the honest partner. If you want to try and save your marriage, which I personally don't recommend, then you should first talk to a lawyer anyway and figure out your options. I would suggest, if you can do so legally, your first step, no matter what, should be to collect evidence of the cheating. Take a backup of her text messages, or somehow save proof that she was cheating so you have evidence for court later. What would you do? Would you tell her? How would you tell her? Should I proceed ignoring this situation, hoping it will go away when the baby is born? Am I a moron for still loving her? What I would do is 1. Talk to lawyer. 2. Collect evidence. 3. Decide what I want to have happen. By decide what I want to have happen, I mean decide if I want to try and save the marriage or not. Personally, if I were in your shoes, I would not want to raise a child with someone who thinks it's okay to be dishonest like this. I would encourage her to get an abortion, and then we go our separate ways. At that point she can have all the fun she wants with her other dude and can fulfill her promise to go be with him. You're not a moron for still loving her. It doesn't work that way. You don't instantly stop caring about someone just because they do something bad. No matter what happens, split up or stay together, this is gonna suck for you and involve a lot of heartache. And that's 100% her fault. But I would suggest think with your head here and not with your heart. She didn't love you enough to stay faithful, so you should think logically rather than romantically. Think about whether there actually is any chance at long-term happiness or not, or if every time you see her you're going to remember what she did to you. I'll end with an analogy I like to use. A relationship or marriage is like a house. The foundation is made up of trust, respect, and honesty. That's the solid base on which everything else is built. The framing is a solid friendship that forms the core of the house. And the walls are the love that wraps you together. Once a foundation crumbles, the rest of the house will fall. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will happen because the house no longer has a solid base to stand on. Doesn't matter how much friendship or love you have, if you don't have trust and respect, it's not gonna work out. And that, my friend, is your house. Your foundation has crumbled. Your wife is not upholding your trust, does not have the respect to talk to you about problems, does not have the honesty to tell you what's going on, or at least not lie to your face. Your house is built on a foundation of salt and sand. That's not your fault, but it is reality. I encourage you to accept this reality, figure out what your priorities are and what you want, and then act to support those priorities.